As creatives, how much of ourselves do we really put into our work? Is that a good thing? Yes. Should we keep doing it? Yes. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Before I go any further, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has been supporting this channel in one way or the other, watching my videos, liking them, sharing them. I see you all. Thank you. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Chinomso Eze. I'm Nigerian and I'm a creative writer currently living in Weymouth, Massachusetts in the US. If you're a returning subscriber or a returning viewer who hasn't subscribed, thank you for coming back. If you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button below and don't forget to click the notification bell that appears right after you click subscribe. Okay, this video is basically for all of my creatives out there. Whether you're a writer, you're an artist, you draw, you paint, you're a designer, you're a musician, as long as you identify as a creative, this video is for you. And even if you don't identify as a creative, still watch, because I'm sure you can, identify with one or two things. Okay, and specifically I'll be talking about how much of our personal lives as creatives get filtered into the work that we produce, or how much of our real selves we put into our work. Okay, if this sounds interesting to you, stay tuned and I will be right back. Okay. Okay, so before I start talking about the topic itself, I'm going to tell you guys just how I even started thinking about this in the first place. Okay, so a few years back, I think it was in 2014, I went to see a friend of mine that I hadn't seen for a long time, since like secondary school, and we started talking and my writing came up. And I was showing him some of my poetry, and he was just looking at them for a few minutes, and then the first thing he said to me was, "Is there something going on in your life that I should know about?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And then he said, "I'm asking because you're writing a lot about pain." It hit me like no one had ever said that to me. I had never even thought of it. And honestly, my initial reaction was like, no. I'm not writing about pain. There's no pain in my life. Even if I'm writing about pain, it's not about me. I'm just writing. It's just words. It's not my life, And I was like, being all very defensive about it. And fast forward to days later, when I left and I went back home, I'm not gonna lie, I kept thinking about this thing. I kept asking myself, like, why did I get all defensive about it? Why didn't I just calm down and think about the situation? And I tried to be very honest with myself. I went through everything that I had written during that period for like a couple of months, 5-6 months. Even before then, basically just that whole year, I went through everything that I had written, and he was right. There was a lot of pain, screaming. It was like the hurt in the words that I was writing, where it was screaming at me, and I was like, wow. There was a lot of hurt, there was a lot of disappointment, there was a lot of pain in my life at the time. He was right. Something was going on, something major was going on in my life, and it was affecting my writing, and it was very subconscious. It was like my subconscious was letting out as much emotion as it could, because the conscious part of me was trying to bottle everything in, but like one way or the other, you have to let out your emotions. If not, you just end up dying in silence, I guess. So after acknowledging that, I had to ask myself, why why I felt like it was a bad thing. Okay, I for some reason I just thought that it was better to be this writer who is able to completely separate her life from her work, and that wasn't the case, and I just felt like it was a bad thing. And then I started asking myself, why do I feel like it's a bad thing, because it's not a bad thing. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that as a writer, I don't care what anybody says, okay, as a creative, and I'm not talking about when you're paid to do a job, alright? When you're paid to do a job and you're given specific parameters, it's different. But when you produce work from your heart, when it's your decision, when it's you just exploring your creative abilities and you produce work, it's hard to not find yourself sort of sleeping in aspects of who you are, what you've experienced, into what you're producing. I don't care what anybody says, and it may not be a deliberate decision, it may be just a subconscious thing that is happening, like even when you're trying to get ideas, the ideas that you have don't just spring out of nowhere. If you think about it, they don't just come out of nowhere. You may have seen something, you may have experienced something, you may have heard something, and instincts just kicks in, and based on all of those things or one of those things, you come up with an idea. So the more I thought about it, the more I realized that it is virtually impossible to not put parts of yourself into work that you're producing of your own, free will. And it's just like, I don't know why I felt like it was a bad thing, but that's how I felt at the time. Yeah, so I got to the point where I was like, okay, it's not a bad thing if parts of my life sort of, make their way into my work. And I just forgot about it. I stopped being too conscious about it, and I kept writing. And fast forward to now, fast forward to like last year, towards the end of last year and this year, and it's like, okay, I've been comparing just, how my work has evolved over the years and topics that I have sort of gravitated towards throughout the years, and the difference is clear. Like the difference is glaring if you take your time to look at it. And why is that? It's because I have, in the simplest terms, moved from a place of complete confusion to a place of stability. Everything is more stable now. I'm in a better place, and so is my writing. Like I'm now gravitating towards topics that aren't just about pain and loss and disappointment and regret. Even though I'm writing about those things, I'm more consciously, more actively writing about hope, about moving forward, about becoming better, about being better, about fighting to stay afloat, about, there's a lot more light in my work now. I think for me, when I write poetry, I lean a lot on my feelings, on my emotions, and so that's why it's more evident in my poetry that, snippets of my life and my experiences are making their way into the poetry. But with fiction, I don't really lean on my emotions as much. I lean on just creative ability, my imagination, if that makes sense. So guys, you know what I want you to do? I want you to think about your work. I'm not talking about work you were paid to do and given like specific parameters. I'm talking about work that you produced on your own by yourself. Musicians, think about songs that you've written, and just think about where you were at in your life at that point in time, and how much of yourself did you really put in there? If you agree that there are parts of yourself in your work, just think about the fact that, you know, you really have spilled some secrets about your life, but people may not know, you know, they may not get it. But if you look well, you spilled some secrets about your life into your work, right? And then ask yourself, is that a bad thing? Is it so bad to let your experience in life sort of just influence your work? If you think it's a good thing, then thumbs up to you. You're right, it's a good thing, because I don't even think of the two, like my life and my writing, I really don't think of the two of them as mutually exclusive. I think that they're very much intertwined, and I feel like it's even a great way to connect with an audience, because especially when it comes to creative arts, right, writing, drawing and all of that, people rely a lot on their emotions. When they see your work, they want to be able to feel something. Okay, I've heard a lot of people say that they want to be able to feel something, and when they can't feel something, it always seems like something is missing. And when you're able to pull at the people's heartstrings and make them feel things, that is like, it's like the secret of creative arts, you know. So before I end this video, I want to read out 2 poems for you guys. One of them is from when, you know, I was in a bad place, and then the second one is more recent, from, you know, a period when I had finally started to get my life together. And I'm going to be reading them out, so I might be looking down, and they're really short, so I'm not going to waste time. Okay, so this is the one from when I was in a bad place. Okay, here goes. Today the dark cloud returned, only for a brief moment, but it was ominous enough to drag me into its lifeless bosom, and I sank deep into the void without protest. I cried until my eyes tired out, but the cloud wouldn't budge. Maybe it's used to these futile tears, tears with no potential to eliminate the darkness. Today the darkness showed its face again, and I hid mine with the haste of a frightened prey. My heart is still too heavy. I leave to hide another day. Guys, this is like, wow. When I was trying to select a poem to read, and I read this, I was like, oh my gosh, like, somebody should have been worried about me, like, for real. Because, oh my god, do you see that last line? It's like, I leave to hide another day. I'm not leaving to fight. We're not fighting. We're done with fighting. We're just gonna keep hiding. Do you get? Like, that's how bad it was. Okay, so that's from them. And then this is from much recently. Here goes. Before he was, you were. Before she was, you were. Before they were, you were. Before any others were, you were. You were worthy, you were wanted, you were needed, you were lovable. You still are. Much more than they can ever be, especially to yourself. So why do you save the best affection for them, while you barely get by on the remnants, the crumbs of your own damn love? Before they were, you were. You still are. You are worthy of your own damn love. This makes me so happy. This makes me so happy. So can you tell how different it is. This is a fighter, okay? This is me in fight mode, and I was low-key telling myself that, you know what, it's time to stop pitying yourself. It's time to stop this pity party, because it's not helping anybody. It's not helping you especially. It's time to sit up and realize that you are worth something, and that you were meant for greatness, and that you're gonna get there, okay? As creatives, how much of ourselves do we really put into our work? Is that a good thing? Yes. Should we keep doing it? Yes. That's the way to go, in my opinion. If you agree with me or you disagree with me, let me know. If you have personal experiences you want to share, definitely let me know in the comment section. I will be reading and responding. Even if you're not a creative, if you can identify somehow with all of this that I've said or parts of it, still let me know in the comment section. This brings me to the end of this video. If you haven't subscribed, guys, subscribe. Click that subscribe button below this video, and don't forget to click the bell icon beside it, so that you'll get notified every single time I post a video, okay? Don't forget to like and share this video with your friends, okay? I'm so sure that a lot of people can identify with some of the things or all of the things that I've talked about in this video. So feel free to share it with your friends, okay? I really appreciate you guys, and I hope that you continue to support my channel. With that said, this is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.